everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so pleased that you have joined us here tonight in the back room. There are 108 people here tonight, and that is marvelous. Karen Dion and I are so thrilled that you have joined us this evening for this absolutely exceptional panel of authors. I am your host, USA Today best-selling author of 15 novels of suspense. My name is Hank Philippi Ryan. My current novel is One Wrong Word, which you see cleverly displayed on the door behind me. I am the winner of 5 Agatha Awards, 5 Anthony Awards, and the coveted Mary Higgins Clark Award. I'm also the investigative reporter for Boston's WHDH-TV and have won 37 Emmys for investigative reporting. My books have been translated into more than a dozen languages, and my brand new book, All This Could Be Yours, will be out this time next year. It is about a debut author with a surprise best-selling novel who goes out on book tour only to realize that a Faustian bargain she once made is about to come due. Magic Tom in the back room will do all the tech work while we get to hear from 4 marvelous authors. And let me introduce them to you right now. I'll do it in alphabetical order. Tracy Clark is first. Tracy Clark, hey Tracy, is a native Chicagoan. She is the award-winning author of the Cass Raines Chicago Mystery Series and the Detective Harriet Foster series, both set in Chicago. She is a multi-nominated Anthony Lefty Edgar International Thriller Writers Macavity and Seamus finalist. I can't even say that because there's just so many awards, and has won the Sue Grafton Memorial Award, the Sarah Paretsky Award, and the Lefty and the Anthony. She is a member of Crime Writers of Color and sits on the boards of BoucherCon National and the Midwest Mystery Conference. Welcome, Tracy.
Oh, glad to be here.
Yeah, we love having you here. Thank you for coming tonight. JT Ellison, she of the gorgeous library, look at that behind her, is the New York Times and USA Today best-selling author of more than 30 novels and the Emmy Award-winning co-host of the literary show A Word on Words. She also writes contemporary fantasy under the pen name Joss Walker. With millions of copies in print, her titles are optioned for television and published in 28 countries. JT lives in Nashville with her husband and twin kittens, one of whom is a ghost. So make sure to ask her about that. Her brand new book is A Very Bad Thing. Jessica Strawser, hey Jess, is editor-at-large for Writer's Digest, where she was previously editorial director. She is the best-selling author of 7 popular book club novels, including the Book of the Month selection, Not That I Could Tell, and The Next Thing You Know, a People magazine pick. Her 2 most recent novels, The Last Caretaker and the brand new Catch You Later, debuted as an instant USA Today bestseller. Yay, Jess. She lives with her husband and her 2 children in Cincinnati, where she received a 2024 Individual Excellence Award from the Ohio Arts Council. Welcome, Jess, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me back.
Stephanie Wrobel, welcome, Stephanie.
Hi.
Is the author of This Might Hurt and Darling Rose Gold, an international bestseller that has sold in 21 countries and was a finalist for the Edgar Award for Best First Novel. Her 3rd book, The Hitchcock Hotel, is out right now to much acclaim and much well-deserved acclaim. It is unique and riveting and unusual, and do not miss it. She lives in New York City. Welcome, welcome, welcome to you all.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Love it. Now, as promised, we will begin with our not quite 20 questions. And each of you will get 3. I cannot wait to hear what you say. So I'm going to ask you in the order I see you. So that means JT, you get the first question.
Hi.
No pressure. And your question is, if you could meet or have dinner with one author from the past, not a current author, and no pressure, it doesn't have to be, oh, it has to be my favorite one of all time, just somebody cool that you would love to have dinner with or meet, who would that be?
Oh, Hemingway. Easy peasy. Yeah, Ernest Hemingway. I'd like to sit down with him with the ice cold Sancerre and find out who hurt him.
Make him be.
I mean, we know who hurt him, but I mean, really, clearly, there's more to meet than meets the eye with him.
And would that take place in Paris? That meeting?
Oh, absolutely.
Must
Yeah.
be.
Closerie de Lila is where we would meet.
We're all going
In
to
the
go.
bar, yeah, I've been there. I've sat in his chair and wrote part of a book there yeah, I'm kind of obsessed.
We'll have to ask you about that in the breakout rooms. Tracy Clark, completely different kind of question. Do you like to read or watch movies or books that are sad?
Yeah, because it's all human emotion, and that's what writers deal with. So sad, happy, angry, all that stuff's good. Sad movies are fine.
Do you like to cry? Do you cry at them?
I don't like to cry, but if I cry, it's fine. I'm a human being, and I can use it. It's all fuel. It's all writer fuel.
Oh, I will not go to a sad movie. We can
Eh,
talk about it later.
dig in.
Stephanie, okay, very serious question. What was your first pet? Did you have a first pet?
Yes, I had a dog named Pookie.
And
Was
what
a
kind of
She was a mutt. She was a rescue. And the crazy story about Pookie is when I was about 6 or 7 years old, she got lost in the woods for 6 months, and then we actually found her, and she was brought back home to us. Yeah, it was like a real homeward bound situation.
what did she do when she got home?
She was definitely different. Like she had obviously come across some wild animals. So, my little sister was a baby and she couldn't really like pull on her hair and stuff the way that she used to. So there was some sad parts, but I've chosen to highlight the happy part, which was the reunion.
The homeward bound part is great.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about that at some point. Jess, okay, totally different kind of question. What is the scariest book or movie you've ever seen or read?
Oh, the scariest. Well, what's the one where you get the phone call and the one that's where the girl comes out of the well?
Oh, like the call is coming from the house.
Yeah, oh my gosh, what is it called? Where it's based on a Japanese film where the girl comes out of, you watch a video. The Ring.
Oh,
Thank
the
you.
ring, the
People in the
ring.
chatter thing.
People in the chat are
Yes.
saying the ring, the
The
ring.
reason that I thought that it was the scariest was because I used to, when I was an editorial assistant for Writer's Digest, our HR used to send out, they used to get free movie passes as like a PR thing for movies that weren't out yet. And they just email the whole company and be like, the first 10 people to respond get 2 passes to see this movie tonight. And they were all movies that weren't out yet and you hadn't heard of them. And I don't really like scary movies, but I had never heard of that movie. I actually thought maybe it was about a proposal or something.
A romance.
And so I signed up for tickets, and my now husband and I went to go see it. And it was not knowing what we were going into was completely terrifying. And then I lived alone and had to go home to my house and reevaluate my life choices.
Jen says the ring scared the hell out of me. Everybody knows. Everybody knows what
I couldn't even remember the title of it because I've blocked it out so thoroughly.
You were so traumatized by it.
I was traumatized, yes.
We would love to ask these authors each to tell you a book, not their own, that they would recommend that you read. And we will start with JT.
So my selection is Lisa Jewell's None of This Is True, which is possibly one of the best thrillers that I've ever read. I was completely misled. I knew what was happening and I was so totally wrong. And that doesn't happen very often. And I think Lisa's just one of the best writers of our generation. I mean, we've got a lot of the best writers of our generation on this call tonight. But I really I love that book. That's got all the true crime podcast and the very sinister friend and everything about it just totally clicked for me.
And the opening is so cool, how the 2 women get together. It's just so genius.
Yep, they share a birthday. I mean,
And
oh
when,
my goodness, of course.
And when you finish this, read The Night She Disappeared, which is like in my top 2 of the best books ever. So I agree with you on Lisa Jewell. Tracy, what's the book that you're recommending?
Recommending Ramona Emerson's Exposure. It's a sequel to her first novel, which was called Shudder. And it's perfect for me. It's a part crime novel, but it's also kind of spooky. She's a forensic photographer who sees dead people. So she's photographing the crime scene. Dead bodies are there, but they're also right behind her talking to her. And so we have this sort of spooky element to the novels. She's an indigenous writer. This is an indigenous character set in New Mexico. And it's just sort of creepy and gritty and dirty. And I love it. It's absolutely wonderful.
Fantastic. Christopher Zagorski agrees with you. He says exposure was even better than the award-nominated debut. And many applause for much applause for none of this is true as well. So you guys are 2 for 2 in getting fans to agree with your choices. Stephanie, what book were you recommending?
Okay, so mine is, sorry, it's a little hard to see. We Begin at the End by Chris Whitaker. So this is a literary thriller. It is, there's no dead body until about 100 pages in, but you don't even notice because you are so absorbed in these characters. I could not put this book down. I thought this is exceptional prose. I was happy with that. And then I wasn't even expecting the major plot twist toward the end. So that was just a bonus, honestly. I think this was a virtually flawless book. And again, I'm sorry, it's called We Begin at the End by Chris Whitaker.
And he's such a genius, isn't he? I've never seen anybody who writes like that or with a voice like that or tells a story that way. All the Colors of the Dark, his new one, is just fantastically good as well. I love both of those books. Good choice. Good choice. Jessica, how about you?
I also have this only on my phone because it's not out in paperback yet, but it is out in Kindle because it's an Amazon first read. So I think we've been here before by Susie Krauss. She's a Canadian author from Saskatchewan. And I got to read this one early because she asked me to blurb it. And it's one of my favorite books that I read all year. And now you can get it for free if you're a Prime member. And otherwise, just pre-order it because it's like a cross between, remember that Netflix movie, Don't Look Up, where a meteor is coming toward Earth. And it's like a cross between that and Anxious People, which was one of my favorite books prior to this. But it's got that sweet, like, human angst story, but then also the world is ending. It's not a comet, but everyone has found out there is a finite point and it is approaching. And there's this family that's separated. And some are in Canada, some are in Europe, and they can't get back together because all the pilots and everyone have walked off of their jobs because what's the point in working if the world is ending? And so it's just this beautiful, it's just a beautiful book, but it's suspenseful and it's funny and you're wondering where she's possibly going with this. And then it has the perfect ending.
Wasn't that fun? We hope you enjoyed that taste of what a backroom session is like. But more fun comes immediately afterward. That's when the audience is broken up into 4 breakout rooms, and each author in turn visits each room. We'd love to show you what a breakout session is like, because those relaxed face-to-face conversations between best-selling authors and readers are the hallmark of backroom events. But breakout sessions are never recorded because what's said in the back room stays in the back room.